Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-week world currencies, stock markets and commodities deep dive for Friday, August 1st, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. Major currencies traded lower against the US dollar. The greenback closed at 0.8517 against the euro, down 0.0091. Against the Japanese yen, it finished at 147.65, dropping 1.145 points. Strong negative trends emerged in several pairs. Weekly returns show pressure on the dollar, with the euro pair down 1.06%. Year-to-date performance reveals broader weakness, with the Swiss franc pair showing the steepest decline at negative 12.5%. Long-term performance metrics reveal significant currency movements. The Swiss franc has strengthened considerably, with the dollar falling 17.6% over 3 years. Against the yen, the dollar has gained 8% in the same period. The Indian Rupee pair stands out, marking its fourth consecutive weekly gain, closing at 86.457. The yuan showed downward volatility, while the Kiwi pair exhibited strong negative trend signals. Weekly returns show the New Zealand dollar gaining strength, with the pair down 0.88%. The rupee pair moved against the trend, posting a positive weekly return of 0.39%. 10-year performance shows the rupee pair leading with a 34.4% gain, averaging nearly 3% annually. The Singapore dollar has strengthened over the decade, with the pair down 6.6%.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Japan led global markets, climbing 5.3% to reach a new all-time high at 75.68. Ireland and Denmark both showed strong momentum, rising 4.9% and 4.6% respectively. Finland hit a new one-year high at 42.25. Weekly returns show impressive gains across these markets. Japan led with a 5.4% weekly return, while Ireland followed at 4.9%. Year-to-date, Finland stands out with a 30.4% return, significantly outperforming its peers. Looking at longer-term performance, Ireland shows strong results with an 18.1% three-year annual rate of return. Denmark demonstrates solid long-term growth with a 7.7% 10-year annual rate of return, despite recent negative one-year performance. Among underperforming markets, India extended its losing streak to 4 consecutive weeks, dropping 1.2%. Indonesia declined 0.5%. Despite overall weakness, Taiwan managed to reach a new one-year high while showing sideways movement. Weekly returns highlight the contrast in performance. India recorded a minus 1.3% weekly return, while Taiwan showed resilience with a modest gain. Year-to-date, Indonesia remains in negative territory with a minus 4.8% return. Long-term performance reveals challenges for Indonesia, down 22% over 3 years. In contrast, Netherlands maintains solid growth with a 13.1% three-year annual return, despite recent weakness. Taiwan shows steady performance with a 7.3% 10-year annual return.
Considering commodities, I'm Liquidity. Gold futures and silver futures both declined for a second consecutive week. Meanwhile, copper futures hit a new all-time high at 5.80, rising 3.5%. Aluminum gained 1.6%, marking its third straight weekly advance. Year-to-date performance shows significant gains across metals futures. Copper leads with a 44% return, while silver follows at 31%. Gold has gained 26%, and palladium has risen 38%, despite today's 3.3% decline. Looking at long-term performance, gold shows the strongest 10-year return at 119% annually. Silver and copper follow with 102% and 93% annual rates, respectively. Aluminum has been notably weaker, returning just 43% annually over the same period. Energy futures showed broad weakness. Natural gas plunged 13.1% amid heightened volatility. Gasoline fell 4.3% after breaking down from sideways movement. Crude oil and Brent both declined for a second straight week. Year-to-date returns show energy futures struggling. Natural gas leads the declines, down 14.8%. Crude oil and Brent have fallen 9.1% and 8.3% respectively. Only gasoline and heating oil show modest gains. The 10-year performance of energy futures remains challenging. Heating oil leads with a modest 45% total return. Crude oil and Brent show gains of 35% and 25% respectively. Natural gas has struggled with just an 11% return. Live cattle hit a new all-time high, up 3% in its fifth consecutive weekly gain. Feeder cattle also reached a record high, despite slipping 0.67% this week. Lean hogs advanced 1.9% amid strong positive momentum. Grains showed widespread weakness. Corn fell 2.2% while trading sideways. Soybeans declined 1.3% in flat trading. Rough rice gained 2.1% despite its negative trend. Oats marked their third consecutive weekly decline. Grain futures were mostly lower this week. Corn futures fell 2.2% to 399.50, showing a very strong negative trend. Wheat futures and soybean futures have both been trading sideways for 4 days. Rough rice futures bucked the trend, rising 2.1%. Looking at longer-term performance, grain futures have struggled. Corn and wheat show particularly weak 3-year returns of -31% and -37%, respectively. Oat futures have performed relatively better, with a 10-year return of 56%. Soft commodities showed mixed performance. Cocoa surged 6.7%, while sugar dropped 3.2%. Orange juice continued its upward momentum, marking its third consecutive weekly gain. Coffee declined 1.8%. In year-to-date returns, orange juice has declined 34%, while cocoa is down 29%. Sugar shows a 15% decline, while cotton remains relatively stable with minimal losses. Looking at 3-year performance, cocoa stands out with a remarkable 242% return. Orange juice follows with 112% gains. Coffee shows modest growth at 42%, while cotton has declined 25%.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-week World Currency, Markets and Commodities episode. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Liquidity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day, just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated, and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency, and commodities. Thanks for watching.